You're listening to Frequency. UCLAN student station. Run by students, for students.
Hello, welcome. It's 9:10. I am extra gravelly. We're starting a little late today because we've had some technological issues. But here we go. Let's start with a request, or more accurately, a dedication, because there's a lot of those tonight. So I dedicate this track to my dear sweet flatmate Ryan. I apologise if you're a bit sensitive. There are a couple of not so pleasant words in it. Curse words more than swears. So if you're of a sensitive disposition, come back in 3 minutes 30. Here is Studio Killers with Ode to the Bouncer. I discovered that song recently and I really like it. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just well, you know, the reference to Pink Floyd don't hurt. But I've rediscovered my love of kind of cheesy music lately. You'd never think that I'd lost it, would you, listening to this show? But especially dance music. I went through a phase very, very recently of desperately wanting to play old tracks from my childhood, and that means hip-hop and R&B, which I was never hugely keen on, but when you're in, 2004, rap and R&B are all you've really got. So It was really cool, but I've driven a couple of people insane because I don't know the lyrics. I just know the chorus. I can't rap. I don't have any flow. I can barely speak half the time. I'm sure you've noticed over this glorious period of a show. I've started fidgeting in my chair as well, I've just noticed. I had a new show on, and I was just hovering over them and babysitting and make sure they were all okay. All of them swing in their chairs, and now I've started doing it out of habit, so now I'll adopt the suggested posture for sitting in an office chair. Did you know there's a suggested posture? Yeah, you're supposed to have your legs essentially level, your feet flat on the floor, your ankles right under your knees, and of course your back straight and all that noise. But I thought it was odd that you're supposed to have your feet flat on the floor. I mean, it makes sense, but it's still odd. Anyway, I've also been, as I said, binging from songs from my childhood. And what else is from my childhood but the 80s, despite being born in the mid-90s? I blame my mother for that one, because she played Prince before, after, way after I was born. And I love him to this day. It's not Prince, though. No, it's going to be George Harrison, because this is the most cheerful song I've heard in weeks. He's just so happy. He's just so happy to love you. We love you too, George. George Harrison, I got my mind set on you. Which is, as I said, so happy. A lovely little track. I've been listening to that all week, and it's just joyous. I love it. I apologise if I sound a bit weird. As usual, I am ill. I promise I am occasionally healthy. On Friday, I was well. And then over the weekend, of course, it snowed. And I had to go outside when it snowed. And then, of course, because my immune system can't stand up to a wet paper towel, I have developed a bit of a sore throat. What am I going to do with myself? I have no idea. So I'm sat in the studio, and it's nice and warm, and then I get this tickle in my throat, and I'm broadcasting, and I think, oh dear, well maybe I can hold it in. And then as I keep talking, it keeps building, and I slowly sound slightly weirder and weirder because I'm holding back. And it'd just be easier if I coughed at this point. But instead, I'm going to be professional, and we're going to put a song on. So here is a track that, not quite from my childhood, but definitely from my college days. And again, I can't rap. I can't rap at all. I'm not sure why this is a surprise to me and why I'm having trouble figuring this out, because I am a white girl. Very few white girls can rap. It's something in the genetics. I have no idea. It's something in the water or the genetics, one of the two. But here is a pair of boys who can rap. And I like them, and I miss them, because they haven't made any music in a while. I believe they actually split up, and one of them is still DJing, I think. I apologise if this has some swears in it. I didn't check, I'll be honest, because my editor broke on me. Curse you, Audacity. How dare you freeze up my laptop. I am useless with technology. Rizzle kicks, down with the trumpets. I like, and I forgot to play this, so we're playing it now.
You're listening to Frequency.
UCLan Student Station, run by students, for students. I used that layout while talking about something. I discovered, or I was told, that there are 2 female-run, female-based radio stations in the UK. I believe they broadcast nationally, but I know they're online, and I've forgotten the names, and I'm ashamed. If I can remember them, I'll put a link out to them. But they've upset Chris Moyle again recently, and he's upset because, he's going to turn XFM back into a radio station for men. Chris, I don't know if you've realised this, but most males are in the whole radio business. There's quite a few females now, which is excellent because we have great music taste. We look fabulous, and it's nice to hear a different pitch on the radio sometimes, isn't it? But Chris Moyle gets on my nerves because he's a brilliant presenter, but he's a bit of an idiot, and I probably shouldn't be quoted as saying that. Not that Chris Moyle knows who I am and thus will attack me just because I don't think I'm supposed to have opinions. But anyway, 2 female-run stations, and I was trying to describe them to my flatmate so he could understand why this was a good thing. And I said, well, it's a female radio station by females for females, and then realised where I'd got that from. Oh, Frequency. You're forever wounded in me. It's like the fact that there are just some things you'll never forget in maths. Like, I can't even remember what I forgot. No, I've forgotten what I've remembered. I answered a question right based on QI. That was it. The diving depth of open water and how far a human can dive. I got that right, but I couldn't tell you Pythagorean's theorem from high school maths. Nope, not a clue. Again, it's one of those things that's lodged in my brain. I will always know the scuba diving depth. Just like I will never forget the French phrase, je mangeais le poulet dans la douche, because I remember the exact look on my French teaching assistant's face when one of the lads spouted that when she asked him to pick a verb and a tense. Je mange le poulet dans la douche. I eat chicken in the shower. That was the sentence he immediately thought. I went to a very special school full of some very special people. Possibly not complimentary, but, Anyway, I am going to play another oldie but a goodie. This is I tried to say declaration then. This is another dedication. This is an apology song. This is for all my Fallout gamers who bought the new game, and I know you're all immersed in it. Excellent. But you do actually have to go to uni now, so don't skip classes to play Fallout. Instead, you can tune in here while you're revising for your exams and still get some of the same music. This is dedicated to Alex, who has had to listen to me sing the lyrics to badly rap the same lyrics to Nelly for the last 48 hours. So here is the Water Boys to apologise. The Water Boys with the Whole of the Moon. I like that song. I keep discovering old tracks. It's really nice because I was worried I was going to end up just cycling through all the old playlist, and I get bored of that. I'm sure you get bored of that. It's why I do this show, is because I get bored of that. So it's always really nice to refine things I want. That comment about Fallout Boy? No. Fallout 4. Fallout Boy is an entirely different topic with lots more memories linked to it. I've never played Fallout 4. I haven't played any of the Fallouts for that matter. I barely played Fable, which is like Fallout but fantasy. Oh, shots called. No, I'm told it's not as in-depth. I wouldn't know. I play Animal Crossing. For those of you who don't know, I don't know why you wouldn't know, because it's everywhere. Fallout is an RPG set in the aftermath of an atomic bomb, I believe. Everything has gone to pot, science is mad, and you must traverse the wastelands that are left. Fable, on the other hand, is a fantasy thing, and depending which game you play, it's got a different plot, so I wouldn't worry about that. Animal Crossing is a life simulator, so you play a little character and you live their life, only in this particular iteration, you are the mayor of a town of animals, and occasionally male if you choose to be. Video games is a wide and varied field of slightly nutty people. No, back to what I was saying. The Fallout 4 comment wasn't in vain. You will find that music here, because the actual dedication I was going to give, the Water Boys, was just because I wanted to play the Water Boys and throw you all off. No, the actual dedication I wanted to give was with The Wanderer. And I forget what the band is called. It's Dion and the something, but I've forgotten the full title. Give me a minute. I will find it out for you. There. Dion and the Belmonts. Oh, or Dion. Is it Dion if it's a bloke and Dion if it's a woman? I'm used to seeing it spelt the French way. Now we're getting poncy. No, I went to school. A school, not all of them. I went to school with a girl named Dion. So I have... It's like Siobhan. I will always see it as Sihobanan. But other ways, Sean, I will always spell it immediately the Welsh way, then the English way. And apparently there's another way, which I didn't know. Oh, Scene, like Sean Bean. I never remember that that's Sean. Anyway, derailing from names and hand shoes, that's a shout out to Ryan, who's having to do his German nouns right now, to The Wanderer with Dion and the Belmonts. That was The Wanderer by Dion and the Belmonts. So, that was great. And for those of you who will be listening through SoundCloud after this actually airs, our techie's come in to fix our problem, which is great. So he's sat in the corner waiting for the offending item to reboot so we can broadcast, which is nice, because some of you actually want to hear me. Some of you don't just get bullied into it. So in celebration for that, I'll put Anastasia on, who I bet you haven't heard in a while, because our poor techie got trapped outside while I was setting up that track. So he was, how you say, out alone. That was a poor link, considering that's not actually the song. Sorry, I tried. I try and do the thing, and it fails. No, this is I'm At a Love, because I like this better, because there's less Evanescence influence in it. That was Anastasia with I'm Not Alone. I'm not alone? No, I'm not in love. I'm not alone either. There's somebody else in the studio. Oh. It's the frequency manager ghost who sat in our ceiling again.
Hey, Jeff.
It speaks. So, for those of you who've just tuned in, we've had all sorts of issues. So our pet techie has come in to take care of us, and he sorted the problem. So many thank yous, Ryan.
As long as you feed me, I'm fine.
We don't... Do you get fed? I know Gracie feeds you gummy bears.
Yeah, basically. And she gives me slippers every now and
She
again.
gives you slippers? Oh, I know...
I'm free now.
Are you not doing anything?
I'm not doing anything, no.
I hear you just did something that I can't do, i.e. sport.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I'm shattered.
Oh,
I did sport for an hour and a half, like, non-stop.
How do you sport? How do you sport? How do you sport for an hour and a half?
It was the first time I'd done it, and it was the first time I'd met these guys, and I didn't want to show myself up, so I just kept going.
So you played football for an hour and a half?
Yeah, with guys I'd never met, and yeah,
excellent.
That happened.
And I hear you also got kidnapped yesterday to do things that you weren't quite sure about.
I'm not going to name the person.
Not going to name names.
But I had to wake up at 7 o'clock yesterday morning for the fry-up. And I'm sorry for those of you who like the fry-up and didn't have it yesterday. I'm not on the host's key list. And so when I went over to security, I couldn't get the key.
Oh.
And so then he who shall not be named didn't show up.
Oh.
And so I was kind of left outside here for like 10 minutes.
Aww.
8 o'clock till 10 past 8, just waiting for someone to show up. And no one did.
Oh.
And then I put a very, very passive-aggressive message on the fry-up group at said person.
I would have played Name and Shame, which is a corner we have on here, where I tell embarrassing stories about other people, and occasionally myself, like the fact that before Christmas I had to chuck out a whole full chicken, because it didn't have the sell by date I thought it had on it, and it had started going green.
Ah.
Yeah. The other one was because my friend didn't know who David Bowie was.
That's a problem.
That was before he died.
That's a problem.
She also didn't know what the Railway Children were.
I know that.
You know that. Hooray!
I know that's
we
a
were
thing.
playing charades, and it's very difficult to play charades with somebody who doesn't know what the charades are. Yeah.
Yes. Quite.
So, thank you, Ryan, for coming and fixing all our stuff.
Anytime.
I will play you out with, I think, a little bit of something fitting, which is Have a Nice Day by Stereophonics, because it is a nice day, because all our stuff got fixed. Have a Nice Day by the Stereophonics, who are a Welsh band, and I'm allowed to brag because I'm Welsh. Hooray, hooray! So, last 10 minutes, let's do something fun. I'm going to play you a bunch of songs because I feel like it. I've got a bunch of songs to play, and one of them is good and fun, and I'd forgotten about it. But here is gay icon Tina Turner, icon to the gays, not gay herself as far as we know, with a brilliant song that I've been called an old lady for listening to, because my flatmates believe that smooth radio is only for old ladies. It's not! It's for people who like relaxing music and love songs. Don't judge me! Anyway, so here is Tina, skeptically, with What's Love Got to Do with It. Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It? A brilliant track, and I hope that is Tina Turner, because that's who I've been calling it. Yes, it is Tina Turner. I had a sudden moment of, oh no, have I got my Black Stars confused? No. Oh no, I made an accidental Bowie reference. That's not good. Yeah, so I'm sad about that. I don't know if you guys tuned into the first broadcast, but we did play some Bowie, and I believe everyone had a story about how they affected him, how he affected them even. I don't think we had much of an effect on Bowie. But yeah, it was lovely, and the dedications to him have been beautiful. But to exit on a newer and less depressing note than remembering our star among gods and gods among stars, I'm going to start with a new character. Now, I normally end this with jazz, but I went to see Caro Emerald, as some of you may know. It was a great gig, and this girl opened for her. Now, she's quite new in the scene, and she has a lot of promise. I just want her to have a different producer, because this song was brilliant live. I'm not keen about the weird backing vocals they've got in the recorded version, but if you're curious, it's Andrea Triana, and that's Andreya. I spell this because I couldn't remember. Triana. And she's a great little character. I hope she does kind of like Lord and ends up with a hit. Fluke Indie or otherwise, I like her a lot. So we're going to exit with this. And then, of course, Gwilym is on at 10 with Rock the Radio, which is always a good show. So thank you for tuning in for my last 10 minutes. I hope it was an enjoyable 10 minutes. I mean, it had Tina Turner. Why wouldn't it be? And I will see you all next week. And hopefully I won't have a slight cold and I will be well so that you'll believe me. Thank you and good night.